In today's video, I'm going to be going over exactly how I'm able to generate 946 pieces of content that are auto-posted, completely automated, completely on autopilot. So when it comes to your social media, when it comes to your website, your blog, whatever you name it, you're able to post on there. Now, you no longer really have to worry about, if you're bad at, let's say, content creation, or let's say you suck at building your brand or so forth. This is what we're here to do to help. So of course this is going to be a free training, so hang tight. So just kind of deep dive into what we have right here, right off the bat. This is the system that we've created, Build Content Engine, that we're going to be going over the training. We're going to go through it step by step. Everything's going to be completely free for you guys to build out with me. And basically, so everybody has no barriers to entry. So right off the bat, right? This is not some strategy, some PDF, some ebook that most people give you and just, so you can be like, oh, that's cool, right? No, this is the actual system, right? We're using it on a day-to-day basis. We've been using this system since beginning of February, and we're going to go through everything live with you guys. So again, this is real marketing live. This is exactly what I'm doing for my personal brand and my business brand, Built. So for those of you who are a part of Built CRM already know that automations is the go-to for everything. So I'm going to be showing you everything live post, the truth, right? Because anybody can tell you how to do something without doing it themselves. Yes, there's plenty of content on the internet that will teach you how to do this. The only difference is they do not show you the real results. So keep that in mind. So not only that, I will be building this out with you completely for free here on YouTube. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed, and we appreciate the like on the video as well. So, but before that, let's get into the metrics. Let's show you guys everything which you guys want to see. Everyone wants to see the metrics. Everyone wants to see the views. Everyone wants to see cost analysis before we start going ahead and building this out for you guys, right? So to go right in here, I just did something. I just pulled out all the metrics that we had in the last 90 days just to kind of showcase things for you guys, right? So granted, these are two different things that we're marketing at the same time. My personal brand, which is this YouTube channel, and some other things. And then, of course, Built CRM, which is the CRM we do for real estate deals and so forth. So if you're interested in that, go check that out. Links in the description. But so as you can see here, we have total views for Built $181,000 since we started doing this. Now, we started the entire content, we're calling it Built Content Engine. So we started this 91 days ago on February 1st. And today, of course, is May 3rd as of this recording. So we have 181,000 views for Built, and we have 113,000 views for me, my personal brand, on certain channels as well. So the total views is 295,000. Now you'd be like, well, what is that actually worth, right? Because if you were to do any type of advertisement to promote your stuff, at the end of the day, there's a worth for views, right? There's a worth for impressions, and that costs something, right? And so I just based it off of, my CPMs, right? In regards to like how I would advertise because I'm in the business sector, I'm in the real estate sector, I'm in the education sector. So my CPMs are going to be a little bit higher than most people, right? Now, if you maybe have like a sub niche business and it's not really that high, you might be a little bit lower. You might be even higher than that too, depending. So I just based it off $30 CPM. CPM literally just stands for 1,000 impressions, right? Equals $30. Again, that might vary for some people. But to give you an example right now, just in the last 91 days, if I were to do paid traffic for this, it would have cost me around $9,000, right? And then, of course, if there's no growth and it's compounding, no compounding, whatever, in the next 12 months, as you can see, metrics go up to like $1.2 million views on both channels, right? And again, these go into Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Google search engine, right? For SEO purposes. And that goes, and there's TikTok, and there's other ones too. You could integrate like Pinterest, and whatever else you want to do, right? There's not really any limitations the way you can integrate. It just depends on you, your personality, and your brand. But again, right? These are projections, right? At the end of the day, will we hit them? Probably, especially if there's no compounding or no growth in our scalability. Because right now we are posting roughly 1,000 posts right now per month between the two channels, between the two brands. And so you can kind of see the results. So we'll deep dive into the actual costs as well as far as the usage goes, because of course there is usage with AI. But if I were to continue on the same trajectory in the next 12 months, you could kind of think about me spending $35,000 on paid ads using, again, the same CPMs. But to dig deep even further when it comes to actual cost breakdown, because everybody wants to know, well, how much is this going to cost me, right? If I build this out with you, Mo, how much am I going to spend? Well, the reality is it's different for every person, right? Are you going to be posting 1,000 pieces of content the same way I am, the same exact system, creating videos through AI, creating images, creating text posts, everything, all of it, right? And we'll get into the different types of content in a second. But if you are, then you're probably going to be around the range of like 180 to 200 bucks a month running costs, and that includes you having your own server instead of using other people's tools like JSON to video, which is really, really expensive, right? That alone would probably cost you in between 100 and 200 bucks. So anyways, these are the exact tools that we're going to be using during this build out, with the exception of these last three now we are no longer using because we built our server. And if you sign up with Google, they give you a free $300 ad credit anyways. So technically I haven't even spent this amount, right, in the last 3 months, but nonetheless, just to kind of take a look at this, right, we're gonna have make.com, we're gonna have Airtable, we're gonna have OpenAI, ChatGPT, and all that kind of stuff. If you want to integrate other API tools, you're more than welcome to. The goal with this build out is you're able to switch APIs, right? You're able to switch AI tools to make your life easier depending on how you want to do things. And then of course, you got Leonardo AI, or you can use ChatGPT for like imagery, videos, and so forth. 11 Labs is meant for audio. And then Airtable is basically just a database. We're going to be hosting and keeping all of our data, which is basically what you're looking at right here. This is all Airtable. It's basically a really, really advanced spreadsheet that has automations and so much more. And you can make it look more of an app, of course, or you can link it to an app directly. But that's as far as like how much things would potentially cost. Now, again, if you're not going to create, let's say, vertical video shorts, well, you're probably going to save a lot of money because imagery and converting to video and adding audio on top is really where the main cost is. I would say if I was not creating AI videos, then I'd probably maybe 40, 50 bucks a month. So keep that in mind. But these are the kind of outputs that I'm producing right now at the moment, right? So I have about 30 video shorts, one per day, so 30 for the entire month. I have shorts personalized for my brand as well. That's 30 per month. Horizontal videos, and those are mainly just your long form YouTube videos that are being posted. About 8 a month. Tweets, a lot of tweets are being posted, just because we've noticed there's not really any limitation or cap on Twitter or X. And then of course, there's text posts that go on multiple platforms, and then text and image posts, which go on multiple platforms. Carousel posts are like multiple images side by side that can say different things. Yes, we can create whatever we want at the end of the day. Blog posts, newsletters, memes, so meme videos as well. We're creating now. This is as of the last month or so. We've been creating those. But again, we'll show you how to build all this out. It's not that hard if you follow step by step. The only thing is, again, if you're not technical savvy, I'm gonna, you might want to slow down, rewatch things, and so forth. The whole goal is I'm gonna get into every little thing nitty gritty, right, with this entire, build out. So, anyways, it's already built out in that regard. But what does this really allow you to do, right? Cost metrics, all of this is fun at the end of the day, right? But this allows you to fire your VAs if you have any, or if any, let's say, content agencies that you have, right? Because the reality is it's expensive, right? If you've hired someone to do your content, then they are expensive, right? Just picture it this way. I've hired multiple people to do my content, right? I built this system because I was tired of hiring and firing bad content providers, right? They never gave me exactly what I wanted, so I figured, hey, if you're going to give me crappy, content, well, I might as well recreate the same crappy content, but at scale, for a fraction of the cost, and then that would save me a lot of headache, right? So again, right, hiring people, you will never get exactly what you want. Their personality might be different than your expectations, and so forth. But AI, you build it once, you set those parameters, you set the prompts, things become a lot easier, right? So the system only costs usage. It's essentially free, right? So, the goal here is that it should only take you 20 minutes a month to really use it, right? Like, to use it properly, the system's going to generate everything for you. I like to have an additional buffer to don't auto post, but you can even automate that portion of it because I want to make sure the words are correct for my brand. But yeah, let's go ahead and dive into a full demo right now to kind of showcase every little thing that's inside the system. I do want to repeat though, everything you see in this training is exactly what I'm doing for my content. This is the real stuff. This is actually live, right? What's working, and you know, this is version 1, right? Will it be a version 2 later on? Probably, right? We'll definitely make things better and so forth. So my goal with the build out is to make it better at the same time. But let's actually dive right into this right here. So let me kind of go over everything step by step inside the system, and then what I'll do is I'll actually showcase you putting in some inputs, whether that be an actual idea that just, you know, came out of your mind, right? Or maybe let's say you had a video that maybe you're on a Zoom or something, you had some kind of recording, you shot a video, whatever it might be, video content, right? We can use that as an import. And then of course, as well, we can use audio files. So if you're a person who likes to do more audio notes on your phone, you know, very simple. It'll be able to like integrate everything accordingly. So let's kind of get right in here just to kind of showcase, this is the calendar view, right? This is what I have currently posted for the month of April. If I go back, you can see in March, everything in green is published, right? You know, you'll see some days where maybe things are missing or whatever. We were testing different things, whatever. You get the idea, right? Nothing's ever perfect, the first beta portion. But, and then of course, you can see exactly when we started, which was here on the 1st. There's no other data prior to this. So everything you see in here, if I just open up, let's say this right here, what does it look like, right? I have access to my copy if I had any, right? You know, images if I had any. Now this is a video specifically, right? It's a vertical video. So I'm going to have access to media, right? And so like if I just click on it, of course, it's going to go to your Google Drive, right? It'll, you know, go directly to the file. We don't want to host things too much on Airtable. We want to host things on our Google Drive. It's a lot cheaper, so forth, right? But this just goes to show you, like, this is a video that I had already had, right? And I uploaded it so I can use it for scheduling purposes later on, right? But at the same time, if I go into that same exact time frame, I'll see there's text post. Well, what does that text post look like? Well, there's copy right here. This is what exactly gets posted on your social media, you know, pages or, you know, your channels, right? And then, you know, this could be done through Twitter, through X, through Facebook, through LinkedIn, you know. If it has an image as well, you could do more Instagram. And so we divided the text posts from the text and image posts as well. So as you can see here, at this time we weren't doing, actually we were right here, text and image post. You'll be able to see the title, you'll be able to see the actual full description in here, and then the image, of course, because we have to host it elsewhere, that would be the image that goes in there. So let me actually pull up some actual accounts so you can see them actually live right now at the moment. Let's pull up our Instagram. Let's pull up our X account. Let's pull up our LinkedIn. Hopefully that loads. Oh, the wrong one. Hold on a second. Yeah, let's just pull this all up. And then we can pull up Facebook. You know, certain channels operate better than others. It is what it is, right? That's the whole point of all this. We can pull up our YouTube. Let's pull up, by the way, this YouTube channel was literally created the same time we launched this, so keep that in mind. All right, looks like our YouTube, let me just make sure, are we live? Okay, we're live. All right, so right off the bat, right, like here, let's just go through this one by one. Here's Instagram, right? Brand new channel, brand new everything, created for the brand, the same time we launched all of this. As you can see, you know, as far as content goes, there's reels, there's plenty of reels. You know, do they do really well on Instagram? Not that great. YouTube does hell of a lot better, right? Facebook does hell of a lot better, but you know, keep that in mind, right? Every platform is going to operate different. So as far as it goes to the posts, you're going to see we have actual, you know, let's say this is our blog, gets reposted as well on here. So it links to our blog directly. Every time our blog is posted, it gets posted on our Instagram as well. And this is all completely automated through the system. Then you have, let's say, another post. This was done today, 7 hours ago, right? It's just a text and image post. And then, of course, if you go down, here's a meme with a description. Is it something exactly what you want? It could be, could not be. I think we've done a pretty good job with our memes and such. And then, of course, you know, keep going down. Here's another blog post. And so you can see how many posts were posted today. 1, 2, 3, 4, just on Instagram alone. If you go to our LinkedIn, you're going to see LinkedIn's not that hot, honestly, for I've noticed for content. Then again, it could just be that we have no followers and we're slowly trying to build things up. But why not post to it if you can, right? I've never used LinkedIn in my life until now, so here we go, right? And then of course you got Facebook. Facebook's a lot better, a lot faster, right? For how things are going. This is in the last 28 days. You can really only see on your phone the actual metrics, but to see how things are posted as far as content goes, same idea. Pretty much all the same posts are being posted on everything. Differentiated, you know, depending if it has an image or not. You know, if it goes on Instagram or whatnot, but that just kind of gives you the idea. So if we just go to the actual Facebook page, you can see same thing that was posted on Instagram. This one was not on Instagram. This is our blog, again, reposted, you know, more text and image posts, more memes, so forth, right? And it keeps going endless, right? If I were to pull up, I think X actually tells me how many posts I've done. 460 posts done on X just recently. Now, X does not have analytics unless you want to go and pay for their services, I guess their premium or whatever. I really haven't bothered. We haven't really got any followers and such, but I can see on average, you know, we do get pretty decent views and stuff like that. You know, some of them pop off, some of them don't. It is what it is. But we are kind of posting like 10 times on X every single day. So keep that in mind. If you're just getting about on average 5 per day, you get the gist, right? Let's go into, let's say, this YouTube channel, which is my personal one. You know, it's done really well, honestly, considering, you know, I really didn't use it for that much. Well, now we use it for like tutorials and stuff like that, like this one. But just in the last 48 hours, you know, we have a significant, you know, difference. If I go back the last 90 days, you can see it really didn't start anything on here until this one, March 10th, right? I mean, I had older videos on the channel, but like February 2nd is when things, I guess, started working. The same time we launched this, so you can kind of see the trajectory and what's really going on. Analytics right here as well, for built, you know, brand new channel. This one started on February 2nd, it's got nothing. The first post was on March 4th. And so you kind of get the idea as well. It's growing, it's scaling, you know, 2,000 views in the last 48 hours. Pretty damn good, right? If I think so. So that's as far as like that. To really go into the content engine to really showcase things, right? The problem, I would say most people are going to face right away, they're going to be like, oh man, this is a lot, right? You're right, it is a lot. But if you want this type of automation, then you got to have a lot, right? There's a reason why there's no specific AI tool out there that has everything, right? And so like even for us, we had to take bits and pieces, APIs from here, AI from here, API from here, right? And link it together into one system. And that's why we use make.com for integrations. That's why we use Airtable as well for our integrations, right? And so it's really, really important to understand that this is not going to be done today, guys, right? This is going to be a weekly thing that we go through together. We slowly build it out. You know, I'm sure there's going to be people that are going to be in a hurry, in a rush, whatever. If that's the case, you can reach out to me. But at the end of the day, we're going to build this out for free for you guys on the YouTube channel. Okay, so let's go right back in here. Let me explain things a little bit further. I have a lot of menus here. I have a lot of things going on inside of this system. You know, it took me about 2-3 months to build, another 3 months to beta test. You know, so keep that in mind, right? Now I'll go over it briefly just so we can kind of see things. We have ideas, right? We could throw, I don't really use the ideas too much, but I'll showcase it right now. I'm more of a throw some videos in here kind of guy and audio. But let's just say I'm going to recopy this entire post right here. Let's say training on Build 2.0 contracts. I'm just going to go ahead and paste that in right here. The moment I do that and I assign it to an idea form, what's going to happen is it is going to convert this idea into a full-blown script transcript, right? And then it's going to take that and it's going to create the blog post. It's going to create the every single one of these that you see right here. It's going to recreate, right? From short scripts to tweets, threads, text posts, text and image posts, carousel posts, blog posts, newsletter. If you wanted to do more than that, you can, of course. But like that's what's going to happen right away, immediately when I fire this and I choose an idea form. And so you'll see this workflow right here will automatically fire. Right, and then if I go into active workflows, because this is currently what's working, notice how it triggered right here, And right now there's 1, 2, 3 menus. You'll see there's going to be additional menus that pop up. Everything's organized by what's going on behind the scenes, so that you know what's going on at all points in time. You don't really have to pay attention to this. I don't, but for purposes of this training, it's good to know what really happens behind the scenes as you're building it out, so you can test it and so forth, right? But we'll let this go right now to see what happens. You'll see this one will actually start disappearing, and then of course it'll create more and other content. But while this is going as well, let me pull up a few videos so we can actually showcase the video portion of it. It's going to do the exact same thing. The difference is it'll take a video, it'll convert it to audio as well. So if you wanted to do podcasting, you can. And then at the same time, that audio will be converted into a transcription. And then once again, you get your blog post, your carousels. As you can see on the screen, what's happening, right? I'm not doing anything. All of this is being created completely on autopilot, right? From one idea, right? And then you'll see the end result in a second, right? Because the title for this was, what was it? Build 2.0 contracts or something, right? So we'll be able to see every single one of the posts that's created for it in the scheduler in a second, which is all the way up here, right? So if we go to the scheduler, notice there's already things in here that's already ready. I just have to approve them and so forth. But like, okay, right now there's 3 text and image posts. There's 1 text post in here specifically for the affiliate, whatever. There's so many tweets that we have prepped and ready to go. So many vertical videos that are ready to go as well. And as you can see, it's going to continue adding. I'm not going to do anything, right? But it's going to continue adding to this based off of what it's creating through AI in the background, right? And our goal with this is basically just to approve it, right? You can go even further as to not even approve it and just have AI, have the automations approve it by itself, right? But sometimes it misspells built, for whatever reason. Or it says something, let's just talk about contracts, right? I say, well, it operates similar to DocuSign. But what does it do? It says, oh, it integrates with DocuSign. So it's, there's a little bit, nitty gritty stuff in there in the back end that could be fixed or could be done better, right? But at the end of the day, everything auto creates and does everything. But so right now, I have 2 videos inside of my import folder, right? And we use Google Drive for a lot of things. Number one, it's easier. You build your servers on Google and so forth. It's just, it gives you more storage. It's faster and so forth, right? But just to kind of look at this, immediately, I'm going to take, I don't like keeping this automated, right? But basically this is going to take the video files that we have in here, and it's going to convert them to audio and organize them inside of our Airtable system over here. So it'll be ready for posting the video, which we'll see right here. Right now we have 3 short videos at the moment. But the moment I go ahead and activate this, and let's say I go ahead and start this, my bad. Let's go ahead and choose where to start. We'll do all. We'll go ahead and run this. Again, you can keep this completely automated. It's just at the end of the day, like how often do you really have content that you're pushing in there? It really depends on your workflow. But that right there was just created for the first one, and now it's doing the second one. If I jump back into here, you'll start seeing that the vertical video shorts inside of here, actually I think it's Mo video shorts, yeah, so Mo video shorts will automatically populate right here. So the same exact titles were in here. If I go in here, the video files are no longer in the import file. Instead, they've been moved to an audio file version over here. So when we do fire the next one, which is again converting audio files into your transcript and everything else, right? Again, you can automate this right away as well. I just choose not to. So I'm going to go ahead and click all again right here and let this fire. And what you'll see is if I go back to active workflows, right now there's only, again, there's 3, right? We just ran that entire thing for the ideas, but now it's going to run those 2 videos, all new automations for the new audio files that we just put in, right? Because the videos were converted to audio, and now we got to convert that audio to a different format so we can repurpose our content. Again, right, that there's plenty of systems out there that will do one core feature, right? This is going to be able to do all different inputs, all different outputs, and there's not really a limitation besides imagination, honestly. My struggle is really just getting back inside here and working on new things because of everything going on. But we're always building new cool things and so forth, right? But while this is kind of loading and everything's kind of going forward right now, and we'll get back to it. If we just deep dive in here, you can see how many workflows I have in here. Each one of these things are a different action, right? Notice idea to transcription, right? Audio to transcription, transcription to blog, transcription to short script for like YouTube Shorts, transcription to tweets, transcription to text posts, newsletter, carousels, quiz content. I haven't talked about that, but we stopped doing it. Text and image posts. Now you can actually convert your short scripts to vertical videos as well if you were to use more AI content and generation for that, which I can show you how to do as well. Carousel text to images. Now, not only did we take we created carousel text, we're actually going to create images from that text, right? And it's going to be exactly the text that we said exactly verbatim. And so those are just some of the workflows. Again, there are a lot more custom actions that we have and a lot more webhooks that we use. I think somebody asked me the other day, Mo, how many webhooks do you have? Honestly, I probably have like 100 and something webhooks, right? It doesn't really matter. I remember, was it 5 months ago or something? I didn't even know what a webhook was. I didn't know what an API was, right? And so like things change, you want to grow, you want to become more efficient, you're going to have to learn a few of these things. But basically, at this point in time, it's really just copy and paste. You know exactly what you're doing as you do it multiple times. But as you can see here, we have channels, right? And so what happens when you post a vertical video, right? What happens when you post Mo's video? What happens when you post a horizontal, right? Notice this one's not active because I like to post those manually, the full form long videos. I like to edit them manually as well. But tweets, text posts, carousel posts, blog posts, newsletter, podcast we're not doing right now. No posts prerequisite. This is just for automation. And then, of course, you have text and image posts and memes. Well, you can see the platforms that they post to, right? Some of these, like this one's specific for Built. This one's specific for me. So, of course, it's going to be the same exact platforms. It's just we need to know where they're going. Right. And this is why it's like you could be a content agency using this and doing other people's brands and keeping things organized. Right. Because that's why we have the brands column right here. And it's like, OK, personal brand Mo. And then, of course, Built, which is the other company that we're with, our personal company. And then, of course, who are the people working inside you? Right now, it's just me, of course. I'm the one that's in there. I'm the content creator. I'm the Airtable manager. I'm the founder, right? There's so many things in here. If you wanted to hire a full media team to actually operate this entire thing, you could. At the end of the day, like it only takes me 20 minutes. I don't even need to do that, honestly. If worst comes to worst, and I really don't even want to touch this, I have one of my support VAs literally just hop on this once a month, teach them how to use it. But, as far as project types, later on when you start doing like podcasts or ongoing projects with other people, you might have different like projects and stuff like that. And so you can kind of keep yourself really, really organized in the system as to what are you working on at that time, right? It's really, really important. And then, of course, there's a bunch of like keywords and stuff like that we have for our type of content that it uses automatically and so forth, right? But to really kind of go in this, it's hard to explain everything when this is, you're looking at it brand new. This is why I want to do a complete build out with you guys. So you guys can see every little detail inside of here, right? As you build it out and you know why it's being built out. So because if I just gave this system to you tomorrow, right? Because I'm going to get people who are going to come to me and say, hey, Mo, I just want the system as is. You're more than welcome to, right? Just reach out to me. But if you don't know what you're doing inside the system, and let's say you screw something up, are you really going to know how to fix it, right? This is a beta. This is, version 1 of the product. It has, spectacular results as is. But at the end of the day, right, everyone's going to want it their way, right, for every little detail. So let's kind of go back over here to all the ones that we have scheduled right now at the moment. You're going to see all of this content, inside of here, right? For me to actually post it on the calendar, let's just say this one right now, right? I want to go ahead and post this one at the moment. Well, I could look at the image for the blog post and say, okay, do I like this image? If not, I can regenerate it, right? I think it's okay. It does a really good job with all of our images. I don't think I approve anything anymore. And then, of course, the copy. It's already generated in HTML with SEO oriented so we are ranking for certain keywords for the brand and so forth, right? This is more of a shorter blog post. It's okay, right? I have probably, I don't know, 300 blog posts at this point in time. It is what it is, right? The more content you have, the better overall for SEO. And so, we create one every single day. But let's just say I wanted to post this one immediately, like right now. Today's Saturday, right? I'm just going to choose it. It's automatically going to calculate today's time. And I go ahead and click approved. If I move to the actual calendar itself for today, and so let's actually move over here. That's May. Yeah, word May. So you'll see the blog post 5:32. It actually turned green right away because it actually got published. So, where is this published, right? At the end of the day, exploring the potential of Build 2.0 contracts. Well, it was probably published immediately on our website. So let's just go to the website and check that out, and see if it came out good or not, But, click on blog. This is where it's going to be. Exploring the potential of Build 2.0. Look how fast that was. I literally just clicked approve, right? So 3.5, it was just posted. I go into it, nicely organized, whatever, a blog, right? At the end of the day, ranked for certain keywords. It does a really good job, right? You could edit it, you could tweak it, you can do whatever you want to it. But it literally, I don't even know, it took us, a second to post that. Some of these take longer, of course, especially if it's got more video formatting and so forth. But that just kind of gives you an idea. If I go back to the scheduler, pretty much what I do is I have a bunch of content, right, just in general. And so I just throw it all in here at one time. And then I just, sit here for 20 minutes scheduling out my posts and just manually reviewing some things, right? I don't like this text. I mean, it could be something, in here that's just worded wrong. I might check it off before I actually publish it. But if I like it, I just, schedule out a day. And then basically it's good to go. So you can kind of see the calendar, right? Everything's kind of organized in here, pretty much the same exact format over and over and over again, right? So you get to here, it's like, oh, what are we missing? Okay, we're missing, Mo's video, right? It's not in here, right? And so we just need to get more of Mo's video to continue that trend going on for that time frame. But that's exactly how it works, going through everything. So again, let's just go ahead and post another one for sakes and shits and giggles right now. Go ahead and approve that one. Again, go back to the calendar. It's going to show here as blue initially, and then it will turn green, right, when it actually gets posted and published. And so let's just see how long that takes for us. Maybe this one's not as fast because it's got images, but you kind of get the idea. But we'll let that go. We'll give it a minute or so. I really want to kind of go into, yeah, there we go, it posted. I kind of really want to go into, right, like, how do we want to do this, right? Right now, I don't do lives on YouTube that much, right? We don't have that much big audience. I'm used to doing it on Facebook. There's reasons why we're moving over to YouTube because, the Facebook policies and so forth, right? I would love to do this live. The only problem is, as you can see right now, it's hard to showcase other people right in here. It's hard to showcase questions. I can only see the top chat, like, Desire and John. Hey guys, right? You guys left comments in there. We got viewers watching it. But at the end of the day, right, how can we kind of engage with this? Do I just do this live, with you guys, or do I just create the videos and you guys can rewatch them whenever? That is kind of the question at this point in time. I was hoping to get a lot more people from the Facebook, right? Because we got 500 likes when I asked people, hey, are people interested in me creating this live, right, training? And, that didn't really transfer over to YouTube, because that was all on Facebook, right? So again, right, there is that struggle. Do I really want to be going live with 6 people, right, 10 people, or do I want to go live with 500 people, right? There's a different story right there. So, that's something to think about how we're going to do it next week. But at the same time, let's actually jump into the next main component of the system, right? Because what you guys just saw right now is basically the system does everything, right? It converts the video, it converts the audio, it converts the idea into other pieces of content. It throws it on the calendar. It auto posts it for you. Congrats, you got a full-fledged system. But what does it really look like in the real backend, right? The backend, which you see on Airtable, is really not a backend. right? It's actually more of a face. And I know it looks more of a backend right now because it is rough, you know, with this version. It's meant to perform, not exactly look pretty, right? But the real backend and everything that we have really runs through make.com, right? Again, you can use N8N, you can use Zapier. At the end of the day, they're all tools and they all pretty much do the same thing, integrating other systems together, integrating other APIs together, and AI and so forth, right? But let me just actually deep dive into this, and then I'll show you guys how I generate the AI videos next, as well as the memes, right? Because right now, that's a little bit, you know, the next step, right? What do you do with the rest of the content, right? So let's actually jump in real quick, and I'm going to go over this briefly so I can then jump back to the content creation of those the AI videos and the memes, because I think that's fun. But let's get right into this. So if you notice my make.com, if I just go to the beginning, right, I just go to all my scenarios, right, you can see how many scenarios I have built, how many that I have currently active right now at the moment. I kind of have them organized. So right now, this is the built content engine version 1. Just to run the current system that you just saw right now, this is all of the automations, right? Including what happens when audio converts to transcription, right? From auto posting all your content, from carousel text to images. What happens in the background when this, you know, when it gets triggered, right? So yes, it's a lot, Michael. It's more than it's hard to explain, and that's the problem, right? Because it took me so long to build out, and this training is gonna, you know, it's gonna take a minute, right? Transcription to quizzes, short scripts, you know, everything is built out. If I just open up one of them, let's just say the text and image post. Well, it's very, you know, it's all chat GPT in here. It's, you know, using Google's and Google Doc and using Airtable and using webhooks. Well, what does this all really mean, right? At the end of the day, well, webhook is we're just receiving information, right? Airtable is we're getting the value from our Airtable database, right, that we already have. And then of course we're getting some content from a document because the previous, let's say, audio to transcription or idea to transcription or video to transcription already created some content for us to use in order to create a text and image post. And so we're just basically retrieving the data that we already have, right? But yeah, so we take that content, right, and then we create using ChatGPT, because like what everyone's used to right now is they're going to the actual model itself, right? You're going to you're not going to OpenAI, you're going to chatgpt.com, or you're going to Elon Musk's version, or you're going to Google Bard's version, or, you know, whoever, right? You're going to somebody's actual console and you're chatting, right? That's cool, that's fine. But at the end of the day, you'll never achieve the automation that you truly want unless you integrate them and you use the API features, right? And like you can have an OpenAI account and not have and pay that 20, 30, whatever, how much per month, right? Even the pro plan, I think it's like, what, $200 a month. I don't pay that, right? I pay the OpenAI subscription, which is completely different, right? And this might sound gibberish to most people, right? I only pay usage, right? Because everything is through OpenAI. And so like right here, what are we actually doing in this model? We're using a certain model, but we're doing a chat completion, right? And we're giving it, you know, basically content and roles and specific information so it doesn't deviate from what we actually want to achieve, right? We want it to stick to the brand. So notice here, like here's a funny thing, right? I told them our company name is Built and not Build, because it likes to do that all the time, right? You got to be very specific with these AI models, right? And you got to train it over time and get better at, you know, your prompting and so forth. So all of this is prompting. So what a developer does in the system versus the user does versus the assistant does are all different things, right? The assistant is meant for more like examples and so forth, right? The assistant one's for the actual prompt and thing. And then of course the role of the user is telling you, giving it more instructions on that prompt. So it's like just understanding the back end of what really happens is so powerful, right? So like this did something, right? And then what did this one do? Well, it did something again. Well, it probably took the current information that we had, right? And now it's going to create an image prompt. We're not going to create the image prompt. It is going to create an image prompt for us, because the last thing we want to do is say, hey, ChatGPT, create me an image that is, I don't know, it had beautiful sunshine outside, right? With some trees and all that, like giving that information every single time. No, right? We don't have time for that. We want it to create its own prompt based on what the topic is, right? We want it to work smarter, not harder at the end of the day. And so there's really important things like really go inside here. And then we finally use the ChatGPT generating an image model as well inside here at a specific size using that result from the previous one. So notice how there's a lot of step by step. If this happens, do this, right? At the end of the day. And what's nice is there's not really any limitations to what you can do. This is just for a text and image prompt. But you could do something as, hey, if I receive an email, do this, right? Always respond this same exact way, understand it, digest it, give a nice response, and so forth, right? It's like, what happens when something happens, right? At the end of the day, look, what's the next go-to? And then, of course, it just gets the image file, right? From here, it throws it in your Google Drive, and then, of course, it creates the document for you. And that's what you see inside of the system, right? So a text and image post, if I go into a, let's say a text to image post right here, you're going to find the content which it produced as well as the image. And again, there you have the content in your Google Drive as well, in a document as well as the image. So let's say I go here. Here's the content and here's the image that it used, right? As well as if I went to the folder directly. So notice how I gave it the initial file or the initial idea or the initial audio or the initial video. It's going to create an entire project for that specific, like this was an MPGA, right? For that audio file, right? It's going to throw the media in here. If I go inside media, it's going to have the text picture, right? It's going to have the actual audio file, right? So if I open this up, you're going to be able to hear the audio.
There's no right or wrong way. There's no one size fits all. There's no... Oh.
There you go. And then, of course, this was the actual image that it used on one of the posts. Here's another image that it used on the post, right? And so you kind of get the idea, and then you go into more text stuff. Well, here's the blog HTML that was created for that project. So again, you can reuse these later on for whatever you want. Now, I honestly haven't even been in these projects because the system just does it all. But this just kind of just showcases what is really going on in the back end. We created a transcript from that, let's say, video, right? Then we took that transcript and we created bullet points, like what are the main points of that transcript? Because this transcript is literally word for word of what that video or the audio file was, right? Is it great? Was it worded the right way? Especially when we do audio notes, sometimes it's not perfect, right? And so what happens next is the bullet points kind of summarize things, make it nicer, and so forth. But then again, it takes that and it creates the text post, it creates the text image post, it creates the short script. So if I open up this, it's creating me a short, which I'm going to show you in a second, of now we can go create our AI video. Right, completely automated AI video. It takes 5 minutes to create, on the back end without you even doing any editing whatsoever, right? And so if I go to, let's say, the YouTube channel, let's go in here and I go to like content. These are the AI videos that are being generated right now. So let's just open up this one right here at the moment.
I was built producing 40 to 50 pieces of content daily on autopilot.
Yeah, so let's actually increase that audio.
We've been crafting a content engine that's now running at nearly 100% efficiency. At first, it was just 1% efficient, but in 6 months, it's evolved to a powerhouse of content automation. Some pieces are fully automated, no manual efforts needed. This isn't magic, it's Built's groundbreaking approach. Want to learn how automation can skyrocket your content game too? How is Built producing 40 to 50?
All right, so you get the idea, right? It literally took an entire script ready to go, right? And created the audio, created the images, the movement in the images to create a video, pieced it together, did pretty much everything for us without us lifting a finger. Yes, I know it's exciting, but building it up's not that sexy. So keep that in mind. But yeah, so like that's just like what really goes on in the back end, right? Here's your newsletter that's created, right, in a specific format that you can use and throw into your email and send to your people and so forth of your business. Again, you can automate that as well. And then of course here's your carousel text, which is created, and then of course it creates carousel images from that. And so forth, right? Like it's unlimited content. Whatever you can think of, it is going to create, right? Whatever you build out, it'll create for you. And so the real thing is, let me close a lot of these things. There's so many of them open that we have right now. So a lot of people are going to get into a system like this and they're going to be like, oh, well, that's cool as is, but I actually want to add more, right? Yeah. So there's plenty of room to add more. You basically just create more channels, right? You create more custom actions. Like, what do I want to do next with the transcription? Do I want to take my tweet and add it to an image like Alex Hormozy does and put my image in the background with the middle of the tweet? I can do that too, right? So it's like, it's not built out at the moment, but like there are those things that you can do. Any idea that you can think about, you can do. All right, let's move on to the actual fun stuff. The content story magic and the content meme magic. Those are the other names that we have right now at the moment. The story magic one specifically generates the actual video, right? So notice this one took 19 minutes, this one took 5, 7, 5, 4. I think this one probably had an error or something. But like these videos literally were generated, and these are the same ones that you see on the YouTube channel, right? Completely through automation, completely through AI. It knows my brand, it knows everything that's going on, right? And I don't have to do anything. Right, I just let it do it.
Discover how a CRM can turn a forgotten lead into a golden opportunity. Initially, the seller wasn't interested, and even after a best and final offer, things looked bleak.
So again, you get the idea. Some of them are higher quality. You know, it depends on what story. So we have story types in here. We get to decide how we want the story to be. Do we want to be more brand faceless? Do we want it to be more explanational? Do we want more dramatic movie, you know, book style, whatever, right? Ryan Reynolds is one of the things I'm testing because I like his marketing tactics and so forth. So you basically get to choose and pick and, you know, and see how things are, right? At the end of the day and see how it works. Let's open up one of these ones right here. Completely different style of animation, right? This is more comic style. And so all of this is, again, generated completely
automated.
automated.
Shake down your national real estate lists like a Canadian buddy after scoring your last Timbit.
So again, a lot funnier, whatever, right? And then of course you have like different audio people and stuff like that, right? Like what is it really, let's say if I can find one as a different person.
Ready to level up?
We weren't actually, I think we deleted them, but let's go.
Hey, real estate daredevil.
Yeah, it looks like I got them all the same audio, but you can change the audio to different people and so forth. We'll get into that in a second, but essentially right here is so we can kind of understand this is it creates shots, right? So as you can see right here, all of the images that we need to create a video, right? And it takes those images and then creates videos. And then it takes those videos per scene, because each scene is, you know, dependent on what the topic is and so forth, are then added the audio files to them. So it's a lot more congruent and easy flowing and so forth, right? And then it takes those scenes and finally creates the main video, which you see right here. So right now I'm going to, let's just say I take one of these, right? I'm going to choose this one as our one that we're going to work on at the moment. Notice it changes the active. We're going to go into manage story, the current one that we have. This is the story that the content engine actually produced for us. It created a script ready to go. Imagine elevating your brand with minimal effort. At Built, we've automated our branding to publish 40 pieces of content across various platforms. You get the idea. The entire thing is good. Call to action is in there. You know, everything is what we need in order to create a video. So we just need a story. Now you can get it from a source. Let's say you have RSS connected to like a news feed. You can get those imported as well. That's one of the next things that we're going to be doing anyways with, you know, real estate news. We want to integrate that into Build so that Build has more of a news feature as well. But once that comes out, of course, we'll let you guys know. But I can create a brand new source right now just off of an idea, right? And then it'll create a story for me, right? Depending on what type of story type I have selected, right? So right now I just have the hook engagement one because, you know, that's been performing the best for us at the moment. But if I go into the scenes, you'll notice scenes are empty, shots are empty. Let's go ahead and delete this one so we can start from scratch and go into the story right here. If I click approve story, and let's go back, shots are empty, scenes are empty, click on story, I'm going to click approve story. I'm okay with the script that it gave me, right? Right off the bat, I don't need any edits, right? I just want it to be done, right? And so if I go to, you know, scenes, you'll see right now there's still nothing in there, but give it a minute or so, it'll start creating different scenes depending on the storyline, right? So there we go, right? There's one scene, and it looks like that's scene number 10. And then if I go into the actual shots itself, it's going to create for that scene different shots, right? So again, right, like this is a lot, right? A lot of stuff is going on in the background. This is a lot bigger automations than just the content engine of you know, posting and you know, you're creating something from scratch right now. This is more creation than just AI, right? There's a lot of automations inside of here, and so forth, right? So notice already it's already generate our first image that we're going to use. Now I don't particularly like this one because it's got the white or the blue background behind it, but whatever, we'll let it go at the moment. And then, you know, I have it where it just automatically creates. I don't even care to improve the images, just because I kind of find it irrelevant to just sit here and watch it all the time. So I just, you know, generate and be done. I don't like wasting my time on a lot of this stuff, you know, and don't get me wrong, right? It is never going to be you physically sitting down and editing a video right from scratch. At least not yet, because, you know, AI is not there. So it does the best of its ability to take the instructions that you give it, and if it fails to do it, it's because the instructions you gave it was your fault. You know, you didn't explain properly, right? And then that's pretty much anything that you build out in general, right? Luckily for you guys, we're going to be building all of this stuff out, right? Yes, it is a game changer, Luke. Like, we're going to be building every single thing inside here. My goal is building this out from scratch is going to be even better this time. So it'll be version 2, let's say, what we're building with you guys. Because this is, you know, already does great, right? As you can see, everything inside of here is populating, it's firing, it's doing its thing, right? How long is this one going to take to generate a video? Looks like it might be even faster than 6 minutes, 5 minutes, right? It might be done in 4 minutes. Just us talking through this right now. And so, like, again, what is it happening over here on the scene side? Now it's adding the audio to those images, right, in those videos. And then once it gets this one, it's actually going to focus on, before it gets to the story, the actual captions. It's got to generate captions that go at the bottom of the video. And so there's a lot of things that go on. Right now, this is the one we're working on at the moment. You know, how it'll tell us the creation time in a second once that actually pops up, and it'll tell us when we actually created that video and so forth. So, you know, this is, you know, really, really powerful. But I will say this is what costs the most. Okay, so like, just to be frank with you guys, this costs the most out of anything. Now I can generate 1,000 memes. It'd probably still be maybe 2-3 videos right here, right? And I'm about to show you the memes in a second, right? In fact, the memes perform the best, and so what I'm doing is I'm using like funny memes for the brand new YouTube channel to engage and create viewership, right, and viewers for the algorithm, to break the algorithm essentially, because they're so short and they're so small. And then what I'm doing is I'm throwing these educational AI ones in there, right, and all about marketing and all about bringing people to Built or whatever your brand is, in there, and it, you know, doesn't get as many, it doesn't get thousands of views, but hey, if you get 500 views on a video, that's 500 eyeballs that just saw your message, right, at the end of the day. And then you just keep doing it every single day, multiple, right? And so right here, this one literally took 3 minutes. I don't think I've ever had one that took 3 minutes. This is the shortest one out, realistically. That means what? Our AI models are getting faster, right? They're always going to get faster, right? So if we look at this one right here and I open this up, what does it look like? It's a 27-second video.
Imagine elevating your brand with minimal effort. At Built, we've automated our branding to publish 40 pieces of content daily across various platforms. Some content is similar but tailored for different channels, and it happens automatically without any human input. It's not perfect, but compared to your current zero automation, the possibilities are absolutely game-changing.
It's funny because everything it just said right now, I just literally just spoke about, right? So you could tell it knows me, right? It knows how I speak at the end of the day. And so we're going to give this right here, we're going to give it a story name real quick. Some content is better. I can automate this as well than no content. We'll just leave it at that, right? It's a good title. And then when I hit push right here, it's automatically going to go to the other system that we have, right? It's automatically going to go in here, right? And so where is that right now? If I go to the scheduler and I go down here, right now there's 3. Well, it should be adding that in here as we speak, right? And so that's kind of the goal here, right? Is you're gonna have multiple tools. Right now it's multiple tools, you know, because this is version 1 that we're building out. But the next version that we build out together is going to be an all-in-one, right? So keep that in mind, just to make our lives easier. And so simple, straight to the point. Let's actually jump in now to the memes, right? The memes are my favorite, right? Like I go in here and I just click, right? And so right now, as you can see, I have a bunch of things that need to be posted in. You know, a lot of content, like really to create a meme right here. Here, let's just do this. Hold on. Come on. Good, a row. Come on. All right, well, we'll just click on this, right? So generate meme, generate meme. I'm just gonna click it twice, so it can generate 2 new memes for us, right? What it's gonna do is gonna take the memes that we already have in our database that I've accumulated over time, right? It's like, oh, this meme was funny, right? So I'm going to take it, right? So here's a meme video. It's literally, you know, a green background, and we're gonna take this and we're gonna add it and customize it to a short form video, and the system will automatically do that for you. You know, it's funny, you know, it's really, really funny at the end of the day. Some of these are good, some of them are bad, you know, at the end of the day, but you pick what you want for your meme content. Like, what are your main sources? And so notice right here, I'm not using the ones all the way up here, I'm only using the ones down here. And what it does is it randomly selects, so you don't have to choose. Notice right now it's actually activating on one of these. But you know, it automatically just at random selects one. And if you have built a really strong database, you know, you can really have unlimited memes. And so as you can see right now, I'm on meme like 169. Like, I'm not even thinking about it. What did it do? It just generated an image for this meme, right? What is the topic for this? So the settings inside a dimly lit home office. Here's the actual text overlay. And then here's the social media caption. So let's actually open this up. Emotional roller coaster. The moment you realize that, you know, so you got to get the idea, right? And so it's automatically going to create it. It's automatically going to add the green screen to it. So it merges it together and you can see what's going on while it's creating. And so it just created this meme right here. So let's play it. So funny. And then this, of course, gains a lot more traction than just boring educational and marketing, you know, videos, right? And so like these just create automatically. And again, you know, click the button. I like it. I'm going to post it. It's automatically going to go to the other system where I can just auto post it, right? And so really, like, I sit down inside this system, again, maybe 20 minutes once a month, right? Unless I'm building some new things, right? Like that's a different story. If I was just to operate it, I literally just sit in here for 20 minutes once a month and just click, 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 click. And I'm like, okay, what things do I need to auto post? And bam, right? I just literally just, all I'm doing is selecting dates and maybe changing some wording here and there. Like that's all I'm doing inside the system. Everything is just clicks, right? There's no manual video editing. There's no nothing at the end of the day that would slow you down or whatever, right? Now, granted, when you guys build this out with me, right, you guys need to take into consideration here. Let me take this off for a second. You guys need to take into consideration, I will be building it all over again based on my brand, right? So if you're walking through the steps with me, you need to be changing your wording, tweaking those wording to your brand or brands, right? Because at the end of the day, Mo runs a software company for real estate, but you might be wholesaling. You might be raising money for private money lending to do deals, right? You might be doing acquisition solely. You might be running a plumbing company. You might be doing roofing. You might be doing whatever business of your choice, right? And you just need to tweak that, right? Like what we call it, the avatar. Who are you? Who is your brand, right? What do you focus on, right? At the end of the day, and what are the main pain points of that, you know, that business, right? That you're targeting. So if you just focus on 4 of those things, and you can go dig deeper into specific audience and demographics and pretty much everything, and to really tailor that and, you know, to make it better and better and better. And that's something that even I need to do, right? I need to make these, like, I noticed something with my blogs, right? I posted probably, let's just say 100 blogs in the last 90 something days, right? Through testing and actual daily posts and stuff like that. I noticed the level of English was too high. Meaning, me who's has a master's might find it easy to read, but someone who, let's say, as a lower level English, or maybe they're not natively American, they might not understand it properly. So, what does industry standards say? Make sure the language is lower, bring it down to a 6th grade level so everyone can understand it, and then it becomes easier to digest, and marketing is more efficient, and so forth, right? And so, like, that's some of the things that we all need to think about when we're building this kind of stuff, right? Right now, I think the most common thing is, and the reason why, you know, we got 500 likes on the post just to create this live today, is because everyone is struggling when it comes to content, right? My goal with this system is that you guys don't struggle with content. You don't even have to think about it. What was a problem is no longer a problem, right? But yeah, so this is the game plan. Every single week, we're going to be creating new stuff. What I'll do is I'll leave the comments open on this live video. You guys tell me if you guys want this to be more live, or do we just do more pre-recording, and then the next video will be determined based off that. Okay, make sure you guys like this video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Leave in the comments what you think we should do. Should we continue doing this live? If we don't get that much engagement on this live, we're not going to. Right, so keep that in mind. I want to do it as much as possible, but if there's not going to be that many people watching it and engaging in the chat, then I might as well just do a recording and cut it up, make it nice and pretty, right? And take out all my stutters, right? Let's leave it at that. But with that being said, guys, I appreciate y'all for joining me today. We're gonna continue next week, and we'll actually dive deep into starting and building the first parts of the the actual content machine. Okay. But if you have any questions or need to get a hold of me, or whatever, reach out, and you can DM me. My link tree is also in the chat as well. You can book a meeting.